COVID-19, Wuhan virus, Chinese virus, whatever you want to call it. What are we all afraid of? I mean, I know it's a virus. I know people have gotten sick from it. People have died from it. But what are we actually afraid of? So everything I've seen so far, all the math that I've done, it has a mortality rate of less than 2%. There's currently 0.00004% of the population on the planet which has got confirmed cases of this disease. Not even 500,000 people have got it as of 24 March 2020. But everybody wants to panic. Why? Should we take precautions? Sure. Should we wash our hands and all that shit? Sure. Should we abide by the government mandated herd control, otherwise known as social distancing? That's yet to be seen. But I see everybody talking about taking precautions and stay inside and do what you're told and listen to the government. This is bad. How bad is it? Like, really? I'm being serious. How bad is this? Yeah, like I said, people have died from it, caught it, and been sick and stuff. I get that. But the levels that are being reported don't add up to the precautions and measures being taken globally, not just in the United States, globally. And people are demanding that we stay home and social distance and all that shit. People are ridiculing other people, calling them stupid or ignorant or you're the cause of us being delayed, and like that principal from the Breakfast Club. You want another month? I'll give you another month, Buster. I'll give it to you. That's what governors and mayors and the federal government's doing. They're talking to us like we're a bunch of sheep, which a lot of us are. Do as you're told to do, but don't question what's going on. That's not me. It's not. I can't get my head wrapped around everything that's going on the planet with countries and quarantines and isolation and all the other stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Mathematically, medically, doesn't make any sense. Everybody's afraid to catch this disease and virus, which, okay, it's a disease, it's a virus, I get it. You know, you're going to be sick, you're going to have sniffles, you're going to have lung disease, you're going to die, you know, whatever, right? But to the extent that we've gone, it doesn't add up or match or equate to the actual numbers of this disease. Everybody brings up the swine flu and how Obama blew that and all that stuff. Okay, it's a given, he blew that. But millions of people died from that in a short amount of time. We didn't have any quarantines. We didn't do any social distancing. We didn't do any of that. I mean, they were like, everybody was wearing masks and, you know, that kind of stuff. But we went about our day. And it was a deadly disease. Deadly virus. Way much more so than what this one is. But everybody's telling us to be afraid of this. The numbers don't add up to that. Yes, more and more cases are being confirmed because more and more people are being tested. The mortality rate is still staying the same. The whole curve that Cuomo and all them are talking about with getting ahead of the curve and knocking down the number of people that catch it. Well, that's wonderful. I mean, that's great. But the curve that's remained the same, the curve that's remained constant is the mortality rate. The age of the victims that get it and die from it has consistently stayed the same. High 70s on a global average. Underlying health conditions being a huge contributing factor to this. Yeah, there's been some younger people that have passed away from this. some with, some without underlying medical conditions. But do those numbers, in anybody's mind, add up to the response? They don't, to me. Am I crazy? It's a pandemic. Okay. What makes it a pandemic? It's global. I mean, all countries basically have reported cases, here and there. There's still a few that haven't, but it's a novel virus. It's not. Corona as a virus has been around for decades. This strand is relatively new because it was relatively newly created. It's not zoological. It's not. But still, let's start with, this is called December as ground zero month. December, January, February, March. We're 4 months into this pandemic. Less than 1 million dead. But we got to shut everything down. We got to close our economy. We got to stop businesses from being businesses. Everybody needs to stay home and not go to work. Pelosi wants to slip in all her crap. Mitch McConnell wants to do the bailout for the rich or whatever. All the kabuki theater bullshit going on in D.C. Aside from that, how do any of you reconcile the numbers with our response? Do any of you question that? I don't question that it's a virus and it's contagious. I'm not questioning that. But what I'm questioning is, how contagious? The R naught value is still not determined. That's the contagion rate. That's what tells you how contagious the disease is. Everything that is contagious has an R naught value. What's the value of this virus? We're 4 months in. Nobody knows. Or if they know, they're not telling us. The mortality rate's less than 2%. And has been that way since this has been reported for 4 months. But we got to shut everything down. And people are accepting this. People are promoting this. People are criticizing other people for not social distancing themselves or not heeding the governmental mandate of herd correction. Why? I don't understand this. I can't get my head wrapped around this. I can't connect A to B to C to D to get from, we have a disease, if we determine it's contagious, people are dying, therefore we must do quarantine stuff. This virus doesn't add up linearly. It doesn't. I don't care how mad you get at me or how much you disagree with me. Do the math. Take China's stuff off the table. It's fine. They lied. Can't trust them. Take North Korea, whatever. Fine. But look at the countries that we do trust. The companies that are our allies. Look at their numbers. Look at all the underlying conditions. Age. Underlying medical conditions. Percentage of smokers. The proximity with people live or commune, or how far apart people normally stay with a personal bubble, the United States as compared to Europe. Things, take all that into account. But we got to stay at home. We got to shut our economy down. We got to put other lives at risk. What's second, third order effects? When you're doing like a military planning, you have a mission you got to take. And what's the second, third order effect of what we do? Our mission is to take out this building, okay? But what are the second and third tertiary effects from that? You always look at that. Sometimes those will determine whether you carry out that mission or not, in addition to the risk factor and all that, risk analysis and all that stuff. But what's the second and third order effect of shutting everything down? Okay, people talking about money and retirement accounts, all that stuff going, tanking, right? Okay, well that's an immediate effect. What happens when people can't pay for food? What happens when people can't pay for nor get medical care? What happens when they can't pay and buy the necessary items to live, to survive? Okay, sorry, I had to deal with family, but what happens to second and tertiary effects? What I stated before, but in addition to that, what happens when people lose their houses and have nowhere to live? What do they do? I mean, look at the homelessness that's going on in California as an example. What are the second, third order effects that has come about from all that? Feces on the street, the plague's coming back, rat-infested streets and buildings, all the dysentery that's going on, the exorbitant amount of drug use as compared to the rest of the country. We shut our economy down for an extended period of time. You're going to have that in every state. You're going to have that in every city. You're going to have epidemics of all kinds of things going on in the United States. Is that what we're willing to risk because of a virus with a less than a 2% mortality rate? That's the part I don't get. If you want to lock your doors and board up your windows and keep everybody the hell out, fine. Please do that. But to mandate that everybody else has to do that, everybody else on the planet has to do that. There's people wanting, Dr. Fauci was talking about he's a proponent of a 14-day national lockdown, and people are like, yes, let's do that. What? What? For what? I've asked that question, 100 times so far, because I can't get the logical steps from having a virus to shutting everything down, based on the numbers that we are seeing. If it was 100% mortality, 100% R naught factor, where if you come within 6 feet of somebody, you're going to get it and you're going to die. Okay, shut it down. I'm with you. Even a 50% mortality rate, shut it down. You're talking about wiping out billions of people. Okay, yeah. But less than 2%, and not even 1% of the population on the planet, or even in this country alone, has caught that disease? Or at least been tested and reported positive? But you want to shut it down. You want to create panic. You want to create an economic disaster. You want to create homelessness. You want to create people not being able to eat because they have no food. What kind of medical conditions are you going to create from that? Do you think that's going to be better than leaving everything open and taking our chances with this coronavirus? Is that what you're really saying? Are you even thinking of that? Are you even contemplating what's going to happen globally when the markets are shut down for a month? Will there be companies that survive? Yeah. But I guarantee you there'll be more that go under. But people want the government bailouts. Oh, 2 point whatever trillion dollars. Where the hell is that coming from? The government doesn't make money. The government takes money from you and me. That's our money they're taking to give back to us as some type of gift, or this is the action that we're taking to save everything, when they're the ones creating this situation. It's a double-edged sword. I get it for the politicians, but that's the life they choose. Do something or not do something. They're going to get criticized either way. Look, I mean, it's going on right now. Both sides are pointing the fingers at both sides. Meanwhile, you, me, mom, dad, cousin, aunt, uncle are starting to suffer from this. Right now, it's not that bad. It's not like, all the stores are wiped out and there's no food, there's nothing being delivered, you're on your own for the next month. I mean, it's not quite that bad. Keep the economy shut down and it will be that bad. They're already having, let's just call them death panels, if you will, in Spain and Italy. They're choosing who lives and dies. That what we're going to do here? Keeping the economy shut down for a month is going to lead to that. Months down the road, you're going to have evictions go through the roof. Oh, the eviction safety clause. No, it's not how that works. It may be for a month. You may get enough money to pay your next month's rent or next month's mortgage, possibly 2. What happens on the 3rd month? When they come through and evict your ass because you haven't paid, because you don't have a job, because your job was shut down. Where are you going to go? What are you going to eat? How are you going to keep yourself healthy? How are you going to get the medical care that you need? Medicaid going to pay for all that stuff now that everybody lost their insurance because they lost their job too? Oh yeah, let's add that $1 trillion to our current debt load. It doesn't add up. I'm not a conspiracy theory person or proponent of one. I don't push a lot of that stuff. I read a lot of it. Some of it sort of makes sense. Some of it takes a small little piece of truth and blows it up into something that's way out of proportion. But it's interesting to read. I'm not coming at this from a conspiratorial place. I'm just asking the questions of why are we doing this when it doesn't add up globally. This doesn't make any sense. I'm not criticizing people or making fun of people or belittling people because you choose, you're part of that herd. That's, you're one of the many sheep that's following the herd. And you're, I'm not going to make fun of you, but I'm going to question you. What is it you really know? I'm not claiming I know everything. I have questions I can't get answers to. But I'm asking the questions. I'm not going to follow anybody blindly. It ain't going to happen. If you have a plan and it makes sense and your math adds up, let's go. But just to tell people to lock down, shut it down, turn the lights off and go home, call us in a month and you might have a job? No. Absolutely not. Ain't gonna happen. If you're following this blindly and bleeding like the rest of the sheep are bleeding, you're part of the problem. We don't need a revolt. We don't need a revolution. Another video. But we need to hold people accountable before they create permanent damage. Not after. Not when all this blows over. Now. Hold them accountable now. Start asking your representatives at every level, local, city, state, county, government, federal, hold them. Why are you doing this? What numbers information are you using to make your decisions? What is your decision-making process to jump to this conclusion to shut it down? Are you just going with the flow too? Are you not wanting to rock the boat so you can get a chance of getting reelected? What are you doing? This isn't about re-election. This is about saving lives and saving our economy, which in turn saves lives. Money doesn't rule my life. I'm not, financially set to live the rest of my life without having to work again. I'm more concerned of what the hell is going on. There's got to be more. Either they don't know what that more is, or they're not telling us what that more is. We've got to know. We have got to know what's going on before we shut everything down. The fallout from this, if we shut it down like everybody wants to, we'll never pay back. It'll be catastrophic on multiple levels. Second and third order effects. What are they? Ask the questions, people. Answer mine if you can. I'll gladly entertain your answers. I'm not going to take the standard bullshit that we get from everybody else, from the press and from the media from you. Ain't going to happen. If you ain't got numbers to back it up, fuck off. If you want to come at me with estimates, no. I don't need to know what the guesses are. I need to know what the facts are. Period. I hope you do too. I hope you all do. I hope everyone does. Because this shit is crazy.